Boston, Massachusetts, the scene as we wrap up Week 5 on the 2024 PLL calendar and head to the All-Star break. First of two, the Utah Archers and Tom Schreiber, the best midfielder on the planet, taking on the Maryland Whipsnakes and a whole bevy of young talent. One of the hotter teams in the league. The Archers out of Utah, the Whipsnakes out of Maryland, getting set to duel here in Cambridge. Paul Carcaterra, Chris Cotter with you. So glad you could join us today. When you think about the Archers, okay, they're the defending champs. They bring back the core of players for that team last year. A lot of offensive firepower. You know, we talked about the bevy of young players at the top with this Whipsnakes team, and really that's the case with the entire league. A lot of rookies are contributing, but I think maybe even especially so much for the Whips. A lot of young players getting them goals.
It's an amazing rookie class league-wide, but the Whipsnakes had 9 goals from the rookies a week ago, and TJ Malone has headlined this group as the leading point producer with 13 points. He's shooting 37%. Adam Patra burst onto the scene last week with 2 goals, and then Levi Anderson, a monster of a presence from the outside with the left hand. The Canadian could get over you and under you and create his own offense. What I like about this unit the most, Cotter, is they don't rely on others to get their goals. They all have the potential, like Fields and like Ament, to get to the rack.
Future is bright with this Whipsnakes squad. Jake Marsh standing by with TJ Malone.
Here with TJ Malone. TJ, a hat trick last week for you. How do you stay hot tonight?
Just enjoy the environment with my teammates. Being in Boston, it's a great city, and just continue to work on the chemistry with the teammates every week, and hopefully just keep going.
This season, just 9 points scored by you guys in the first quarter. How do you ensure that you can get off to a hotter start tonight?
Yeah, just we're working on our set plays and everything. I think the more time we're with each other, the better we're going to get working off each other, and hopefully that chemistry just keeps picking up every week.
All right, thanks, TJ. Good luck.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Take a look at the Whipsnakes lineup. Ajax Zapatello, another rookie, is really growing up, and he's flanked by 2 Maryland defenders, all terp, all defense, all grit. Colin Heacock is another Maryland terp, and Mike Janichuk as well, and I think he's playing some of his best lacrosse later in his career. Zed Williams is the big right-hander. Matt Rambo, ice in his veins when the game is on the line. You want number 9 with the rock, and then Malone is becoming a leader of this unit just as a rookie, but a quarterback.
Whipsnakes lineup, powered by Ticketmaster. Our head official tonight is Josh Blaisdell. And when you talk about face-off men, 2 of the best in the world, the veteran Joe Nardella taking on Mike Sisselberger, who's quickly becoming a veteran, and this should be a big-time battle all game long. Nardella comes into this game #1 in the PLL in face-off percentage, almost 74%, and he wins the opening face-off possession to the Whipsnakes to start this game.
You're good, Woody. Island. You're good,
That's Malone, 7 in black. Takes the shot, and right away, the goaltender gets involved in the action. It's Brett Dobson. Loose ball picked up by Archers. Here's Amen. It's interesting you mentioned in the opening about Amen how all 8 of his goals this year have been unassisted. He's really taken that role coming out of the box as a Dodger. His whole career, he's been going all the way back to his days in Penn State, was a passer.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the reason why he's creating so much of his own offense. Teams are not sliding to him because they think he's pass first, but he's making them pay by creating his own offense with a quick first step and ability to find pay dirt.
There he is right there, got the slide, and it's going to cause him to have to put the ball into the corner with a shot clock violation.
But at some point, Cotter, teams are going to have to decide, like, okay, enough already. Like, this guy is starting to become a lethal Dodger and worry less about him passing and more about him scoring and creating his own offense.
Drop. Wires, flip over, Wires, you're good.
Whips on the clear. Here's Janichuk.
Good play. Drive up. Lefty.
Patra,
You're good.
51 in black. Wonder if his brother is here, plays for the Boston Bruins. I got to imagine he and his family are all here watching the game.
You're good, Wires. Pull down.
Malone loses it, picks it up. Now he's under pressure.
Sit, drive him,
Back
drive him,
behind,
drive
X
him.
comes around, his defender falls down, hits the pipe. Loose ball in front, picked up by the Archers.
You know what I like about Malone's game? He's just unfortunate there, hitting the iron. He's dodging from all over the field. I mean, his first dodge was from the left wing. The second dodge started all the way on the right wing. And you look at his college career, you're not surprised because he played midfield, he played attack for Jeff Tambroni. His freshman year, he was actually a teammate of Grant Amens.
Schreiber coming out of the box with authority. He shoots it wide on the run. Checked by Jake Bernhardt. Amen. Got the shorty on him, so he likes that matchup. Now rolls back to his left, up top to Schreiber. Skip pass. Got through to Matt Moore. Struggling mightily, Matt Moore shooting. Just 0 for 13 on the year. Save made by Krebs.
That was nice defense by Ajax Zapatello on Matt Moore there. Just playing into the body and then using his stick to get that ball dislodged.
Shot score by Amen. More of the same, Cart.
Make it 9. 9 goals on the season, 9 unassisted. It's go time and taking shorties to the rack. This is the issue when you defend the Archers. You only have 4 poles. Who are you going to put it on? Well, a lot of the time, Amen's getting the short stick, and that's too much for Roman Puglisi. And Amen played his entire career, a lot of times, getting the #1 defender on him. So when he has a shorty on him, even as an undersized player, Cotter, he's winning the leverage game. He's too smart the way he uses his body and can free up his hands for the shot there. At some point in time, teams will slide and teams will start pulling him.
Martella wins another. Maryland picks up the loose ball.
You're good, Mark. You're good, Mark. Brady. Island, Warren. Island. Come to the lane. You're good. Stay. Don't roll back.
Shot hits the pipe. That time it was Zed Williams. Utah trying to strike quickly. Couldn't get a good shot on, but not Malone, rather, I should say. O'Keefe was able to track it down. Good to see O'Keefe in there. He was banged up a little bit earlier this week.
I think the next step for this Archers offense is to get Matt Moore more engaged and involved. Stuck on that 1 assist. Dyson Williams now in his pro debut, 51 in white.
The over-the-shoulder pass. Williams couldn't corral it. It's a turnover.
Check. Hey. More. Slow.
Whipsnakes on the board. And it's Zed Williams.
I love this shot by Zed Williams. The last 2 shots on Dobson were high and hit the crossbar. TJ Malone, and then Zed hit one. This time now he starts with his stick high and he just pounds this bottom portion of the goal right between the legs of Dobson. I think Dobson thinks he's going high the whole time. Coach Staggs knows he's got an ace in the hole in Zed Williams.
You got 2, Warren. You got 3.
Splitting up Rambo and Williams this year, running Williams out of the box often. Trying to find
attack tonight.
Yeah, finding the right combination. And now you mentioned in the open with one of these youngsters, Levi Anderson, making a name for himself as well.
Well, I think if you have Levi Anderson coming out of the box as a midfielder on a shorty, I mean, he's just so strong. And his wingspan, about a 6'4" player, but his wingspan looks ridiculous.
6'4", 240 Canadian.
2 to 3.
Out of Western Canada, Alberta.
1.
Here's Matt Moore.
Finds Amen coming out of the box. Amen again on the shorty. Gets to the middle of the field, thought about letting it rip, instead goes to the left and shoots it high.
He looks good. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, Amen's so productive, put him back at attack. And I've gone back and forth in my own mind, but he's getting short sticks. So the next step for this offense is to get Matt Moore going.
That was Moore right there, shoots it high, backed up by Williams, Dyson Williams, so it'll stay with Utah. It's going to be interesting to see how 51 Dyson Williams fits into this offensive scheme with the Archers as he dumps it into the corner with the shot clock violation.
I mean, with these passers, you would think that he'd get some opportunities. I mean, you're playing with a Tom Schreiber and a Grant Ament, and Connor Fields can deal.
So he's kind of that, you think he fits in that crease attackman, that old school guy right in front, just like Westberg, kind of that type of a role?
At some point in time, here's Levi. He's going to have to attack the short sticks because they won't slide off of him.
Look at Levi put his shoulder into the defender there.
But he's capable. Dyson Williams saw him in the World Games last year attacking short sticks.
Malone, give him another one. Had a hat trick last week, and he's on the board this week.
The rookie is for real. The Whips were unlucky going after Dobson high early in this quarter. The last two, they snuck it low right between his legs. TJ Malone, the rookie sensation, the total steal of the draft.
Playing really well. They've won 2 in a row, and that the way New York played last night made their win last week look even better.
Oh yeah, but getting back to T, the record's 44 points. Now he's tied all time single season with Marcus Holman in the PLL history. In a 10-game season, he's on track for 73 points. That's not like beating the record. That is blowtorching the record.
And the way the Atlas even played last night, they could have put even more points on the board. They were dominating that game from the opening whistle against Denver. Fields looking for just a crease. Thought he had it there a little bit back to his left. Now he shoots, it's wide.
You see the way he manipulates a defender, though? It's back and forth. And then defenders start getting a little antsy. And then you see the one over aggressive move, and then it's bam. He figures it out.
Krebs got a piece of that, so a fresh 32. Look inside. Right there, that was that close to O'Keefe. Those two, you think those two have had a combination before? Amen to O'Keefe.
One of the most prolific duos in NCAA lacrosse history.
Almost added another one there, just a little bit wide for O'Keefe to handle. So we go to the other side. Shannonchuk down the alley, now backs off. Finds Levi Anderson, big Canadian. Near side to Patois, also Canadian from Ontario, Eastern Canada. Get the whistle, gonna get a loose ball push. Against the Archers, so Zed Williams will put it in play. Finds Malone behind. Malone switches to his left, wide of the mark.
He's something else. I think TJ Malone is one of those players, too. He doesn't have to have a clean break or beat you with a lot of steps. He could shoot around you as well.
Rambo shoots high. No problem for Dobson.
You know, Dobson last week against Boston struggled against the 2. Outside of that, though, he was fantastic. I mean, he's having a stellar season at 58%, second in the league behind Blaze Reardon.
It's a bizarre game last week when you think about that. 5 two-point goals for the Cannons.
PLL record.
Yeah.
2 by Matt Campbell. But outside of those 2 balls, Dobson was on.
Fields working a little 2-man game with LeClaire. Schreiber on the run, shoots. Krebs makes his 3rd save of the day.
I thought Krebs played well last week in that win over the Atlas. He's at 51%. Lefty, tall guy, a little different style than some of the bigger guys in the league like Dylan Ward and Brett Dobson. Doesn't play as high out in the arc. He's a little lower than those guys. You see him towards the goal line more, where Dobson and most notably Dylan Ward can be all the way out by the crease.
Krebs, second-year man out of Manhattan. Shot clock inside of 10 for Fields. Tough angle, scores anyways.
Talked about the way he manipulates a defender. Well, he also manipulates a goaltender with some deception. This is a fabulous move. They get the short stick matchup, and Puglisi now, who had a deal with Grant Ament on a switch now with Connor Fields. It's too easy. You see how he just wraps his stick around at the last second. If he just shot straight down, he would have missed. But he takes his stick out just a little bit to increase the angle, but also to get Krebs guessing a little bit. He's such a fantastic low-angle shooter, Connor Fields.
Now in his 6th year, hard to believe. After setting all those records at UAlbany with Scotty Marr, the Great Danes. Martella wins the face-off but can't keep possession. It goes back to Archers.
The Archers can make it count too. Connor Fields at 36%, Grant Ament 47%, Trey LeClaire at 58%. So there's certain guys you don't want the ball in their stick when they're standing in front of a goalie. Fields is one.
Skip pass to LeClaire, he fires and scores!
Trey LeClaire was one of those sharpshooters I just mentioned. He's number 2 in terms of shooting percentage. In the entire PLL, 58%. Only the big beard in Westberg is better, 75% heading into the season. He hammers this shot. And we watched him a bunch at Ohio State. He loved the high right wing rips. And they'll count that for 2.
His first 2 of the year. And we talk about shot rates and things like that, Kark. He scores a goal on over 11% of his touches.
Trey LeClaire is such a good player. I'm so impressed, too, at how he's evolved into an all-around lacrosse player. In college, he was an offensive.
Moore takes the shot and scores. He needed that big time. And you can see his teammates know it.
Different kind of celebration, right? You know you have a star in Matt Moore who's struggling. And after that goal, you even sense an exhale, right? That'll be from Chris Bates to his teammates and most notably himself. His first goal of the season in Game 5. Takes it up the hash, and he lets it rip from deep on the run. That looked like Romar Dennis. 3 goals in 52 seconds for the Utah Archers. This offense that is so powerful and potent, showing you why.
So streaky, this team, when you think about their scoring runs, Kark, the Archers. They have 5 scoring droughts of at least 8 minutes on the season. So they'll go on long droughts, even like they did at the beginning of this game, after Ament's goal to get the scoring started. Now they've scored 3 in less than a minute.
And they've struggled late in games, too. Only shooting 16% in the 4th quarter. They've had some issues closing the deal.
Yeah, they didn't score in the final 11-plus minutes of the game last week, the loss. But Moore, now he's on the board. You have LeClaire, you have Ament continuing to play hot. Here's LeClaire, too. They're going to give him a step down, and he makes him pay.
Krebs isn't happy. He's let 3 deep shots in a row in. I don't know if he's upset with himself or his defense there for not pressing out on the hands, but they're starting to get to him. He's allowed 6 points, 3 saves only, and LeClaire again just hammers that shot. You see the body language of Krebs after this goal.
I think LeClaire would take that all day long.
That was a rip. But he just had that old giddy up in the ability to take a crow hop and put all that into that shot.
Now a 5-goal run here by Utah. Nardella's an equalizer, though, as the Whips get possession on the draw. Zed looking to muscle his way in. He does, but he can't get anything on the shot. It's deflected before he was able to get it on cage. Run out won by Archers to get possession. That's why sometimes winning faceoffs can be deceiving in terms of those percentages, because the Whips really didn't get a good possession off of that faceoff win.
Well, that's what's made the Atlas so good this season, too. Their quick offense with Jeff Teed off the high wing, clicking at another level.
Fieldsy working on Dunn. Now the slide comes. Fields didn't see it initially, but he was able to keep possession. Ament wanting to work on a pick. Now he gets the shorty matchup that he wants.
He wants to hold this matchup.
Gets his left hand free, and Krebs makes that save.
That was a big stop by Krebs. He needed that one after allowing a few bombs.
Muller initiating the break. Puglisi can't handle it. It's a turnover. Now the ball's back down on the field. Zed picks it up, shoots it high.
See that? See that scoop?
Oh, man. With just 2 seconds left to go in the quarter, he gave himself a chance. He actually had a little bit more time than he probably thought. Horn sounds to end in the first quarter. Ajax Zapatello, because his dad would roll in the family truckster.
Ah, yeah, the RV, yeah. Yep.
They'd have the RV.
Yep.
That's a winner right there.
I'd like to see Staggs on the grill, too. I could see him cooking, like, unbelievable food and just yelling at everyone. You all don't think I could cook? I'm the best cook here.
Kark's been talking about how he can cook all year. I can out-cook Kark.
Be like draft night, us going back and forth on the food.
On the grill.
Yep.
Loose ball picked up by the Whips. Going to turn something into some quick offense. Rambo with his head up finds Shannon Chuck coming out of the box. Anderson with a freight train coming upfield, but no match for Dobson on that shot.
He's going to be a problem, though. You watch him physically. I think when he figures out the spacing and the pace of this game, Levi Anderson's going to be an issue for this league.
Jake Marsh on the field. What are you hearing about the Whips?
Yeah, I spent a lot of that time out in the Whips defensive huddle, and it was actually the 6-time All-Star Matthew Dunn leading the charge in the huddle. He said, we're actually playing good 6-on-6 defense. It's in between where the issues are. And keep this in mind, guys. Entering today, the Whipsnakes have allowed 19 points in the first quarter, which is their worst quarter defensively. So that trend continues after that Utah run.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, 3 of the 6 points, you got the 2 ball from Trey LeClaire, and then his second goal, too, with just early offense, kind of right out of the substitution box. So to Dunn's point, spot on.
Ambler, a little miscommunication with the Rook Williams. Bouncer scores! Jake Bernhardt, his first of the year.
They needed a run. Utah had 5 points in 1 minute and 34 seconds. It was critical for the Whipsnakes to answer, and when you're staring down an elite goaltender, why not use the turf? And I think he uses a screen there, too. It looks like Mason Woodward jumps through this shot and probably takes away the sight line from Dobson. Do you see Mason Woodward there jumping? That makes it almost impossible for Brett Dobson to track that one.
Skillful bounce shot, too, from Bernhardt from way out, using the turf to his advantage. This has been a good battle, as we anticipated it would be. Ardella wins it, at least temporarily. Loose ball, though, right in front of the cage. Dangerous spot. Heacock couldn't quite grab it as he was running toward the goal. And it's going to be Whipsnakes ball. A helter-skelter there in the middle of the field. Shannon Chuck. Down the alley, he'll shoot on the run. The bouncer steered aside by Dobson.
Move it!
Great look in front. The shot was high, though, and Malone knows it.
TJ, bring it down. Lot of time. Lot of time. Single.
Rambo trying to muscle his way in. Great double team, though. Perfectly timed by the Archers. 5th turnover of the game so far against the Whips.
That was a really well-timed double on Matt Rambo. Like, they timed that perfectly.
Tribes. One thing I've noticed about the captain, Tom Schreiber, is he's such a cool cat. Look at that pass. Oh, it almost went in, too. He's such a cool cat, like when you talk to him and personality-wise, but he is a killer when he runs out of the box onto the field.
He's all business on the field. He's a great ambassador of the sport, exhibits incredible sportsmanship, Every single time he steps on the field, he's got respect for the game, his opponents.
That time, Kevin Winkoff pings it off the top iron.
But you can have all that and be a fierce competitor, too.
Zed, GLE. Rolls in, got a free spot. Can't beat Dobson, though. How did he make that save?
Very few people physically that can own almost any matchup around goal line extended. Zed Williams is one of them, and I think Asher Nolting's turning into one of those guys that doesn't matter how big the defender is, they couple their size and strength with also their ability to find ways to get through a defender.
Ouch! Back O'Keefe from Grant Ament. Kark, I want to comment on this because last night you talked about somebody having a heavy shot. I don't remember who it was in one of our games last night, but I feel like O'Keefe is more like the quick, the wrist, as opposed to that heavy shot.
It was Brian Costabile from the New York Atlas with the heavy shot. This is the Dobson save. That's an insane save. Zed Williams leaves his feet. Somehow he makes this stop, and then the quick pass into the quick shot. What I love about this combination is Ament flicked the pass. O'Keefe from range shows you what it looks like to flick the shot. But that's a great point, Cotter, because a heavy shot to me is always like the windup. Like when Costabile is letting one go from the outside, it's a heavy windup and then it's boom, like you feel it. Where O'Keefe is more in line with like a Graham Bundy Jr., where it's just so quick and fluid, where it's just catch and you swoop and flick in one.
Josh Blaisdell getting our face-off men together here, trying to find a spot here on this turf to let it rip. He's got one.
See you, man.
It's a great battle at the stripe.
And great audio too, just to hear how tough that is. Watch out here! Oh, big hit was coming.
You know, Nardella has been dominant this season. He's up 8-3 against Sisselberger, a young star at the stripe in the league. But Nardella is putting together one heck of a season.
That was a nice job by Grant Ament running out of the box, not only catching that pass, but slowing things down as well. The former quarterback shows you the leadership ability in terms of slowing it down, getting the better shot. Like that right there, but Krebs is all over it. Gleesy looking to clear. Anderson.
It's a good job by Jeffrey not to lose Anderson on the pick and create a switch. He was able to stick through that matchup, getting through the picks.
Winkoff, good look inside. Man, Dobson comes way off his line that time, but he has become a brick wall now in this game. Good look to Anderson inside, and Dobson was all over it, so we go the other way.
Talking about the switches in the two-man game, I think the Archers are having more success switching and getting the short stick matchups as opposed to the whips.
Ament down the alley, finds Dyson over the shoulder. You could see that one developing before it did, and it almost worked for him.
And it's going to work because Dyson Williams is one of the top scorers in NCAA history with over 200 goals at Duke. And he's such an incredible finisher.
Zed Williams out of the box, and Dobson makes the save. He's stopping everything right now. 5th save of the quarter and 8th for the game. Pedersen looking for some help. Finds it in Piper Bond. O'Keefe shooting from 2, and it's wide.
He had that look. You see O'Keefe coming out of the box there. And there's just too much room for that guy.
One. Sit down here, guys.
Shot scored by Utah. And that is another one for Matt Moore. That's 2 on the day. Came into this game 0 for 13 shooting, scoreless in their first 4 games. Gets 2 already.
You talked to Chris Bates before the game. He told me it's only a matter of time Matt Moore starts to make his presence felt. Tonight in Boston looks like it's the night. He's got 2.
Yeah, great stuff. Mike Sisselberger out of Lehigh, coming in 4th in the PLL and face-off winning percentage, going against the top guy today, and Joe Nardella. It's been a big battle.
See how good Nardella is off the rug? It's ridiculous.
Nardella's
so good.
He's won 9 of the 12. So Nardella's getting the better of Sis so far today. Jake, what do you got for us?
Yeah, obviously only 3 points to show so far for the Maryland offense, but I was in their huddle during the timeout, and they're not changing their game plan. They said keep trusting the process. I mean, you look right now, Brett Dobson saved 73% of shots that have come his way on the season, 59%. So they're hoping for a regression to the mean and see if things can tighten up here on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Dobson's been sick as he makes another save. He's been the difference maker in this game so far. Hosek finally corrals it. He's got 9 saves.
Dobson is getting into the conversation as the best goalie in the world, along with Blaze Reardon and Dylan Ward's in the conversation. But Dobson, the 3rd-year pro, it's been incredible.
Of course, helped Utah to their first PLL championship last year.
Oh,
That's going to be a flag, yeah. And still the Fields over his shoulder. Doesn't wait for the official to blow the whistle.
The Magic.
Field as a hold, wiped out by the goal. All even face.
Cotter, he does it all the time. Just makes your jaw drop. It looks like he's toast here after the hold on Puglisi. But right there is the seam. That kind of opens it up. The flag's down. Everyone takes a breath. Not Connor Fields. It's time to go backhand and create what looks like the impossible. Krebs has no idea where that's going. Pure joy watching Connor Fields stick BTBs between the legs. You know, he does such a good job when he feels the defense overcommitting. That's when he hits you. He's waiting for that. He's always waiting for a defender to overcompensate so he can counter. And his counter oftentimes are inside rolls, behind the backs, between the legs. Unbelievable.
2 goals for Fields on the day. Came into the game averaging 2.8 on the season. That put him 4th in the league. And he's off to a great start today. Ambler now out of the box.
Right foot.
I think over the course of the last couple seasons, he's been the toughest cover week in and week out.
Naaman sizing up his defender, the veteran Jake Bernhardt. Rolls under his defender, the shot clock winding down. Violation before Krebs was able to make the stop.
Utah's putting together some real numbers. I think a big reason is obviously Fields, but Matt Moore getting involved. And Moore coming into the game is 0 for 13 shooting. Today he's 2 for 3.
Yeah. I mean, with LeClaire really having a good start to his year, now you throw Matt Moore, and if he can start heating up, then it looks like the Archers of last year where they were very difficult to defend.
And some of your stars have been quiet tonight. Tommy Schreiber.
Malone, watch out here. Tried to question Mark. Nice job defensively, though, by Mason Woodward.
But as the ball goes back to the offense, it's okay when a Tommy Schreiber's quiet because you know in big games when the season's on the line, he's going to deliver.
Like the game winner for the title last year.
Yes, so for Chris Bates to see the other pieces really come to life is most gratifying.
Timeout on the field. Chris Bates is going to take it.
Professor Bates.
Yes, with the glasses. Checking out his charts. Let's listen into the huddle here, see if we can figure out what Archers are doing.
We should have plenty of time here, right? Oh, guys. Hey, let's go, Biggie, with you up top. we'll start, excuse me, we'll end in a Kobe, we'll start in a biggie, right? But this is what I want to end up with, right? So Mac and Tom up top, right? So it's Grant setting it for Mac here, right? And then Ryan setting it, so Fieldsy here, right? Just get out of that passing angle, this one here, right? So we go here. So who do we want to start low here?
Doesn't matter. We can go Fieldsy and Ryan probably.
All right.
Yeah, that should flow right into it.
Good, you got it?
Yeah, it's fine.
So get it, and then you're coming off the pick. If it's not there, we can go with 2 with you on this side again.
Want me to like do a hard double catch?
Yeah.
Or maybe depending on your
What they're trying to
If you can
establish
get it,
here
but keep us moving here, because it'll come back to you. You know what I mean?
is they've been so successful in the pick game in finding the short stick. So you're going to see a lot of two-man action to get a guy like Grant Amen a short stick if a long stick starts on him. And if you look at the first half, they've been way more successful finding those matchups and attacking short sticks. I mean, think about Connor Fields doesn't start a matchup with a long pole on him. He ended a matchup with a long pole or a short pole that last possession when he beat Roman Puglisi, right? They're able to do this because of the pick. So the offensive player who has the long stick on him will get a pick set by the guy in the short, and they'll switch.
Here's Ambler setting that pick. Dunn is able to come around it. Schreiber. He's got the long pole on him up top.
See, right now, Connor Fields has a short stick on him because of the switch.
And they found him
in the pick game.
So here he
This
is on
dangerous.
the wing. Trying to get underneath the defender. Skip pass, try to get it to Ambler inside, but it goes wanting.
So they're just manipulating matchups and finding a long pole to get a shorty on him.
Puglisi on the run. Anderson too wide. Jake, you were in the Whips huddle?
Yeah, I was in the Whips huddle while you guys were listening to Coach Bates. And for Coach Stagnita, he said, let's get physical. Stay physical. They believe they're still in this game, and there's one to chip away.
Yeah, exactly. Rambo finding the back of the net. Got to chip away at this deficit here, and that'll help.
Keep in mind, you have Joe Nardella, too, to get the possessions you need. Late in quarters, like this scenario. There's T.J. Malone. I mentioned off the top, he's been the quarterback. The creator behind the cage with the eyes. A lot of people think of Malone as a goal scorer. He's a terrific passer as well. And Matt Rambo off ball. Cutting and getting the rock from the rook. I think that's a big-time move by Rambo, too. We know Rambo as the lefty dodger in the bull. He's going to have more of an off-ball role this season with Malone occupying the rock. There's the win at Nardella.
Yes.
So this
Runs
is a perfect
to daylight,
scenario,
gets
right?
a timeout,
You
right?
score a goal, you get the ball, use your timeout. Got one to burn.
Maryland was mired in a 1-for-16 slump shooting the ball before that Rambo
That's a
goal.
hold. Simple call again.
Stags
Brayden,
wanted
let's
a
go.
hold there on Nardella.
Hey, let's go. On his hips, right? Shoot his hips.
Bernlohr.
Hey, listen, right here.
There you saw
Saw
Stags
him,
keeping
yeah.
the energy up.
See him talking to Kyle Bernlohr, the backup, too, and I think he wants him to echo shooting at the hips on Dobson.
And then after that, what happened was we cut here, and this guy popped. All right, if nothing's there, we're throwing back to Chaney, TJ.
Yep.
Okay.
Am I top here again?
Yeah, let's get you
And
there.
then Chaney,
Zed right here.
Zed, me and Zed.
Yep.
That's
And
Levi.
Yep.
TJ, Chaney, and then Levi and should we go wing there because it's a righty?
Let's just,
Yeah.
sure, let's go wink. Okay?
Yeah, let's go.
Wink right here. Okay, Zed. Okay, we have Rambo,
What do you want us
Levi,
to go on?
Chaney, and
go.
TJ.
There's a lot of
Okay,
names
let's
they're
go.
throwing.
I'm going left.
I'm not hearing a lot of breakdown
Yeah.
because
Here
they're
we go.
pointing
Finish
to a
off. 3, 1, 2,
board right
3.
there
Finish.
that I
Let's go.
don't
One more
see,
here.
but I will tell you this much. There's Drew Snyder, the offensive coordinator under Jim Stagnita. Snyder was a perennial All-Pro in Major League Lacrosse in Seattle, Washington. Played for John Tillman at Maryland. Played in some national championship games. Look, at the end of the day, when your star is a rookie in T.J. Malone, it's not predicated on him finding a short stick. He could win one-on-one matchups against anyone right now. So I think you attack with him and let him handle the ball.
Trying to get it to Chanenchuk. Now we'll get a loose ball push, so it'll stay with Whips. Fresh 32 to work with the push. Chucks it X, wants to get it to Williams, and he does. Now advantage Williams. He gets it back to Chuck. Up top, Anderson has a great look and scores. That looked like it wasn't going the way they planned, whatever they planned, Carc, but then all of a sudden, it got into 24 stick and he was wide open.
I was going to say, Cotter, get the ball to TJ Malone, but there's two things on this goal that stand out with Levi Anderson. One is the face dodge. He catches the ball here, and he sees the approach of the defense, and he moves his stick quickly, but then the second one is the deception of the shot. I thought he was going low. Gets Dobson to think he's shooting more towards the hips or the lower portion of the cage, and then he sticks it high. That is a great combo type of goal where it's face dodge right into a deceptive shot. And the face dodge allows the offense to open up, Cotter, because of the fact that the defense was just over-aggressive in pressing.
He is a rookie, the Canadian Levi Anderson, playing just his second PLL game.
Well, their rookies came to life last week, combined for 9 goals. Levi with 2.
Schreiber on the run. Tried a really tight pass to LeClaire. Tracked down by Moore. Just 1 second to shoot. That's going to be a shot clock violation.
I said it earlier, and it's coming into play. Don't underestimate the value of Joe Nardella in this game. He's responsible for that last goal because he gave his team possession. He allowed Stags to call a timeout, and they capitalized.
Just a handful of seconds. Bond's going to have to let it rip. Avoids the defender. He's going to have a good look and scores! With 1 second left on the clock. What presence of mind by Piper Bond to not take the 2-point shot, get a better shot. He knew he had just enough time to get it off.
This is brutal for Jim Stagnita and the Whipsnakes. You cut it to 4. You go into the locker room with back-to-back goals, and then with 1 second left, you're not defending the transition play with Piper Bond, who goes from defense to offense, and he just hammers it. And I love your call out there, Cotter. He takes those extra steps. Piper Bond with just his 2nd goal of the season, but one of the better young short stick defenders in the league.
And that'll do it. Shot at the Harvard campus here in Cambridge. 10-5 is our score. Archers on top of Whipsnakes as we get set to start the second half. Show you some highlights. How about Jake Bernhardt scoring his first goal of the year?
Yeah, this was a beautiful bounce shot. You got to beat an incredible goalie. Use the turf. Levi Anderson, the rookie. Big body lefty from Canada. Little face dodge, some deceptive shooting. And he can't. How about Matt Moore? He's 0 for 13 heading into this game. Hadn't scored a goal all season. Now he's 2 for 3 in the first half. And he is yet another piece to the puzzle for the Utah Archers. And don't forget about the Magic Man. Connor Fields doing the unthinkable with this insane BTV.
Take a look at the numbers from the first half. Maryland shooting woes. They had a 1 for 16 stretch in that first half. Face-offs. We talked about this battle coming in. Joe Nardella getting the better of Mike Sisselberger by a 2-1 margin in that first half. Fans young and old alike getting excited about the second half here. And then, of course, the nightcap, which will have the Water Dogs and the Cannons as the Boston Cannons wrap up their homecoming. Jake, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I spoke with Grant Amen as he was stretching to get ready for the second half. And yes, they are up 10-5 in terms of Utah, but he said, we've been here before and it has gone south. Specifically in the fourth quarter, they're shooting 6 of 37. That's just 16%. They're being outscored 17-6 in the fourth quarter. So they need to take advantage of this third quarter so that pressure isn't on them as much as we get down the stretch
they
here.
had a scoreless drought of over 11 minutes in almost the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about when they blew the lead in Charlotte against Brennan O'Neill.
Yeah.
They were up 14-7 in the fourth quarter.
Good point, Jake. Jake Marsh on the field. Chris Cotter, Paul Carcaterra with you up in the booth. Second half underway. Violation against the Archers, so Nardella wins another one. Possession for the Whips.
He's 11 for 17 and getting into a groove here.
There's Malone. Up to Anderson. He's looking for a pick. Uses it, now he has the shorty on him. Swims, double team comes, tried to get a shot off. Not much on that shot and a lot of traffic in front of the net.
It's hard to tell if that was a shot or a feed inside.
If that was a feed, that would have been a tough one to corral, but Archer's coming out of there with it more. A lot more confidence now than he had at the start of this game with a couple of goals under his belt.
Krebs was only at 44% in the first half. They were able to get to him from deep.
Archers will complete their substitutions. Fields has an open look, but Krebs makes the stop.
See how Dunn is just overplaying Fields' left hand there, forcing him to use his offhand, his right hand. Fields, a lot of times when he does that, he'll go down with the right hand at the last second, switch back to his left if he has another level of room in front of that defender. I'm surprised that time he didn't switch it back to his left.
Now here's Zed working on the left side. Try to get under the defender, instead behind the cage, now back around to Anderson. Anderson again looking for that pick. Stepping upfield and scoring the goal is Poitras. From one Canadian to the other. And Adam Poitras, I tell you what, that was a great move by him. Getting into the middle of the field, that extra step card to give him a better angle.
I can't give it the Canadian tongue like you do. Poitras is a phenomenal talent out of Loyola, where he had a stellar senior season. See that little plant foot, how he gets the defender to bite? It gets Piper Bond, who's really upset with himself. He bites on that move because of the fancy footwork from the Canadian. It was a hard plant foot downfield to create more space in front of the cage. And that is a smart offensive player who knows how to set up his strengths in his shot. By that little subtle jab to his right allowed him so much more space, and his shooting angle increased dramatically.
The rookie playing in his second game as a pro. Whitby, Ontario, played college at Loyola.
I like his flex potential too, because he could play like he did in college, attack or midfield. And he's so good in front of the cage. I look at Anderson, I look at Poitras. All of these guys can create their own shots. I mean, you're seeing their dodging presence. It's not like they're just off-ball guys who are complementary players. They are alphas in terms of dodging and going after defenders.
Schreiber back up top. A shot score, O'Keefe.
I think they're getting to Krebs a little bit here.
Yeah, he's not seeing it great, is he?
You don't see him have that normal pop and step to the ball here. O'Keefe is the type of shooter that likes to get his feet set and rarely dodges and shoots through contact here. And this time he does. It's a really nice shot, but watch the lack of step by Krebs here. He doesn't explode to the ball. He's kind of on his heels. See that? He's on his heels. He's not on his toes. He's not exploding to the ball. As a goaltender, you have to initiate contact with the ball. You can't wait on it, especially against the best shooters in the world.
Sisselberger battling to get back into this thing at the face-off dot. Nardella picks it up. Feeds it on the wing, and the shot goes too high.
Hey, numbers! Hey, watch the pictures,
Nardella's won 13 of 18. Starting to dominate there. Here's Shannonchuk. On the run, he shoots. The bouncer goes wide. Matt Rambo backs it up.
Hey, big, coming here, Oz. Go! You're good. Hands, check.
I think they called a moving pick.
Yep.
On Chanachuk. He doesn't like the call.
Batesy was fired up about it, and he got it on the run. Woodward trying to get rid of it, finally does to Moore. Now Moore's looking for help. Eventually Schreiber comes on. Here's Leclerc. Amen. Once again looking to dodge. Tried a two-man game with Shribes, couldn't connect with him, but now he stays with it. Inside, O'Keefe's gonna have to make something happen. One-handed, shot over the top, didn't get through.
You saw that coming. You knew something was going to happen out of the ordinary. I thought maybe he'd go between his legs.
Right. It's like he was trying to figure out how he was gonna shoot that one-handed,
But he was going to shoot it.
yes. As the clock was winding down, didn't work for him. Now we're going the other way here with the Whips. They got to figure out something offensively here. They're in another one of those droughts. Here's Winkoff. Another rookie shoots, deflected. Anderson backs it up. I mean, this roster is full of rookies, Clark. Anderson, Winkoff, Patra.
You know, we always
Jack Horace.
have this as the best draft because of how the stars, O'Neal and Schellenberger and Kavanaugh. But it's the depth of this draft that's really standing out now.
So many players are emerging.
Yeah,
And guys that have only played a couple of weeks, like maybe they got their first shot last week and showed what they can do and carrying it on to this week.
just think of this roster as we get the call here.
Fouls on the Archers. Number 77. This player is under review.
Call is going to go against Woodward. They're going to review it to see how serious the call is going to be. If there's any over-the-shoulder action, which would add time to it.
Any head and neck? Yeah, that's head and neck.
Wow.
I think that's going to be longer than one. This needs to be, yeah, that's high. That's to the head, clearly. That's a brutal hit right here. It doesn't help Woodward. Like, I think initially when Woodward decided to go in for the hit,
Yeah.
Patra was higher, and then as he started to fall, it made it way worse. I'm not saying it was...
He's airborne and dropping.
I'm not going to say this was intentional by Woodward, that he went out to try to hurt Patra or anything, but the intent, I don't see it as malicious, but the result, it's clear as day.
After review. Call on the field. Contact head and neck. 2 minutes. Full-time serve.
Yes.
The right call.
And that is a big call. 2 minutes full time.
That's the right call. Last night we saw a head and neck 1 minute full time. This one was a little bit more excessive. It's the right call.
He'd been a little late too. At any rate,
well, we were talking rookies. I mean, last week they got goals from Malone, who had 3, Anderson had 2, Koris had 2, Patra had 2.
yeah.
This is one roster. I mean, there's a slew of other rosters. The Outlaws have Graham Bundy Jr., so Josh Wadded, Brennan O'Neal. There's an incredible
fun.
wealth of talent in the rookie class.
Now this has to be a big moment here for the Whips to get back into this game. 2 minutes unreleasable. They can score as many goals as they can in the 2 minute period.
And you have Joe Nardellas, who could be make it, take it.
Anderson puts his shoulder into the defender. Rambo gets a better angle, scores one of them.
This is actually the first power play of the season for the Maryland Whips, where they've actually cashed in. Their first goal, extra man. Philadelphia native, Maryland star, Matt Rambo. The southpaw connects. The Whips are going nowhere.
Glad to see some members of the United States Navy present today.
Thank those fine people for their service. 4th of July weekend in Boston, a very patriotic time.
No question about it. Another turnover as Sisselberger looked like he was in a good spot, but he lost the stick.
This is where I mentioned before, Nardella comes into play here.
Still a man up is Maryland so they can dig even further into this deficit. Anderson coming out of the box.
Watch number 1 on the other side here. Shannon Chuck can let it fly from 2. One of the most prolific 2-point shooters in professional lacrosse history. A 2 would be just what the doctor ordered.
That's Malone up top. Shannon Chuck thought about stepping in, instead gets it back to Malone. Got Anderson in the middle. Here's Shannon Chuck, shoots just wide.
See that? I mean, that's dicey.
That would have been just what the doctor ordered for Maryland, too. They need to put at least one more on the board here on this power play. Rambo goes high to catch it, shoots, pings it off the pipe. Now you got Patra in the middle, 51. Zed, save, rebound, scores. Right place, right time for TJ Malone.
Find a way. It doesn't matter. Find a way. If you can't beat Dobson with heat, beat him with a rebound. Look at this first stop by Dobson, though. Zed Williams hammers this. Uses his upper body to make the stop. Wasn't a stick save, so it creates a rebound.
Yeah, it looks like it might even got him a face mask.
Yeah, face mask shoulder area, so it's not a clean save. And then Malone, smart decision to crash the boards there.
2 power play goals, and with Nardella, you might be able to even get an opportunity for a third here with 16 seconds still on the power play.
And I always look at it, even though there's only 16 seconds, if he wins the draw here, oh, Sis.
That's a really big face-off, yes. Look at him battling to keep possession, too. Loses his footing after 3. Whipsnakes corral him. Loses his helmet.
I thought he still had the ball.
That's what I was saying.
Case,
if you're going to call a
should be
push.
with possession. That should be a push with possession at 30 seconds. He's gassed, dude. He's breathing like you are walking up the steps
no question.
at Harvard Stadium.
No question.
Jackie, 2, 4 seconds.
Does he still have the ball when he's pushed? Ball in his cross. Keep going, keep going. Still has it. Still has it.
I just lost it
yeah,
right before he got pushed, yeah. They'll reset it to 32,
gassed.
yes.
That's what Cotter looked like pregame, walking up these steps. Have you ever walked up steps like this at a stadium?
This would be a great workout.
Yes.
So they'll add a little bit of time to the game clock. We had Jerry Byrne, the head coach at Harvard, here with us yesterday, former Cannon.
Yep.
And he was telling us how when he first came here, he used to run the steps here at this stadium.
No thanks.
Yeah, forget it. A couple of steps and that would be it. There's no running. Walking the steps. Schreiber shoots too high.
As you get older, they tell you cardio is less important, more about weights, right?
I don't think it's the other way around, but I like your way of thinking.
There he is. Here he is. Watch him, watch him.
One-handed between the legs and scores!
Oh, gosh! Stop the madness! This is the goal of the year, Cotter, and it's not even close. Yes, do it. Bow down. Dunn's playing decent defense. This isn't just a between-the-legs shot. This thing has gas.
Look where he put it.
In the top shelf. He is a left-handed player. Box lacrosse background. Bottom hand dominant. That's the right hand. That's his strength when he goes one-handed. An absolute thing of beauty.
That's got to be a trip. Yes, it is.
That might be the best between the legs shot I have seen. I've seen some doozies. But the fact that he threw that between his legs with that velocity in that shot location closes the debate for me.
Jake, you were down there on the sideline.
Yeah, you said goal of the year. I think the Archers teammates would agree. They were all staring at the Jumbotron. Their jaws were on the floor. and they just could not believe what they just saw. Just pure excitement from
now
the
he's
Archers.
feeling it a little bit too. We talked about that. Fields and some of these players, when they start to feel it, the magic, and they start to become even more creative. Another one. See, now the team is feeling it. They're feeding off of him. Dyson Williams' first professional goal.
You know, we talk about all the rookies in the league. The Utah Archers are the only team in the league without a rookie getting a point. That's finished right now. Dyson Williams with his first career goal in the PLL. That will be the first of many. We talk about his finishing ability. As Grant Ament hugs him, he smells the opportunity to backdoor the defense. Gets Jack Corus ball watching. You cannot ball watch against Dyson Williams. That's where he makes his living, playing off ball.
Ament with now 2 assists to go with his goal early on in the game, and just like that, the 2 goals the Whips scored on that power play wiped out by 2 more from the Archers. Sisselberger, Nardella. Not for the faint of heart. Nice play by Sisselberger to get it to a teammate. Here comes Patterson and the Archers. Shot score! It's O'Keefe. And like we saw with New York last night, when this team gets going offensively, it is a freight train rolling downhill.
Matt Moore can open it up. Connor Fields can open it up. Mac O'Keefe now with 2 unassisted goals too. You talk about O'Keefe being a standstill finisher. He's showing you his ability to get to the rack. Twice now, he's taken it in himself for unassisted goals. That's 3 goals in 1 minute and 16 seconds. And they might be calling in the relief pitcher. And in this case, it's the netminder, Kyle Bernlohr.
Woody, you're good, Woody. What's the pick? Drive him.
Malone has it taken away as he tried to attack the cage. Gonna get a loose ball. No, we're gonna get in the crease. Malone fell in the crease. Archer's looking to attack quickly. Marr trying to get it to Moore, who loses his stick. He won't be able to track it down, so it'll be a turnover. Here come the Whips the other way.
Hey, check block.
To Anderson, now back behind the cage. Rambo is GLE. Waits for Chanenchuk to come on. Patra.
Good war, you're good war. Watch the slip. Watch the slip.
He's got an open look with the left hand and just fired it wide.
He's been getting hit pretty hard after he shoots the ball today. The rookie is feeling it. I like his dodging, though. I think he's going to be a player in this league.
Rambo shoots. No problem for Dobson. Continues his strong play. Here comes Woodward. O'Keefe gets it to Fields. Archers will sub out 2 poles. Here's Schreiber, full head of steam, can't handle the pass. He'd had a great scoring opportunity if he could, so Puglisi takes it the other way. Rambo. Zed. No, it's Anderson, check it.
2 big bodies.
Yes.
Bookends. Anderson the lefty, Zed the righty.
Zed's on the far side now, camped on the far post. Winkoff.
You're good. Hug up. Look away. Look away. Look away.
TJ's got his defender hung up, looking for a cutter. He's looking to come upfield. Absorbs the contact. Shoots with the jump shot with the left, just wide.
You hear how vocal Dobson is?
15 to shoot. Winkoff. That was a good idea. Pass just couldn't connect. Dobson's made 13 saves. Staggs looking on, thinking, what do I got to do at the half here to slow down this Utah offense, get something going on our own. Amen. Shoots on the run, bounces it just wide. Fieldsy backs it up, 35.6 remaining.
Here he goes again.
Working on Dunn.
Utah does a nice job of giving him space, too, to operate. They clear out for him.
Ambler with the shot. Krebs coming out there to snag it. Now he's in a little bit of trouble. Puglisi just tried to get it out of trouble and does. Kors can't pick up the ground ball. Still battling for it in the middle of the field. 7 seconds left. Anderson, will he get an opportunity here? He will. He dishes it off to Rambo.
Why
and
did he pass
connect.
that? I thought he had the lane. Anderson needs to take that in. Wow.
A little bit lower on that pass, though, and Rambo would have had a good look, too, in fairness. Goes for naught, though, at the end of the first half. What a goal and what a half for Connor Fields. Unbelievable shot and score for the Archers. Utah on top, 14-8 at the break. (14-8) our score as we head to the fourth. Whipsnakes got to do something special. Maybe something special like this. Although there are not very many people on the planet, maybe only one who can do this.
Connor Fields has a baby boy. I think he's less than a year old. I think one day when the kid asks, "Hey, Daddy, were you good at lacrosse?" Just show him that goal.
That one goal.
That's all you need to do.
That's all you got to do.
Well, son, yeah, I played back in the day. He's known to do a thing or two with the stick.
Whip's going to make a change in net. Kyle Bernlohr replacing Brendan Krebs. So Staggs hoping he can catch lightning in a bottle here with Bernlohr for this fourth quarter and keep the Archers at bay to give his team an opportunity to come back.
Bernlohr has seen limited action. Just one game, 6 goals against, 0 saves, but he was an all-pro goaltender a couple of years ago. He has a wealth of experience under his belt as a pro goalie. He's just at a different stage of his career right now, and it looked like he was going to be the experienced backup. See if he makes a run for the starting job again.
Padra gets it back, almost got it back. Now on the rebound. Man, I tell you what, Dobson has just been so sharp. He had to make very many saves recently, but there's another one.
You know, Blaze does that too. Sometimes in tight, you'll see them jump and make the body save.
14 saves for Dobson. Oh, that, again, the Whipsnakes have got to be kicking themselves. That's another opportunity that they couldn't capitalize on with a wide open shooter. And O'Keefe might make him pay. Beautiful move, got open, but Bernlohr makes the save, and O'Keefe puts back in his own rebound, and it's good. I got to see this again, Clark, just to make sure he did not end up in the crease before that ball crossed the line, but as of now, it's a goal.
That's what Bernlohr is staring at, the video board, to see if it's a goal. This is a gorgeous move. Big, swooping face dodge with the follow-up. I don't see them overturning this.
No, I don't either. No,
this is a gorgeous move. Everyone thinks O'Keefe, including me, is shooting the ball. It gets
stopped before it goes in.
That's a goal.
Before it got to the goal,
I think it crosses the plane. Here's a good angle. He's not in the crease with his feet. It's his body in the crease before it crosses the plane. I don't think they're going to overturn.
Now, did it bounce first before going into the goal? Watch the goal line here. See where it bounces.
Rebound, follow-up. Okay, does his body fall in?
Because it bounced outside of the goal. See it right there?
Yes, it bounces outside of the goal, but immediately it goes up and crosses the plane. So that's why it's going to be so hard to overturn.
You have to have, obviously.
Okay, so look, when it bounces, yes, it doesn't cross the plane, but immediately it goes up. If you go slow, keep rolling here. Right there, it's crossed the plane. I think that's going to be really hard to overturn because off the bounce, it comes up quickly and crosses the plane. Does that make sense?
Yeah. There's no definitive evidence in that replay that could overturn it. You can't say for sure that he was in the crease before the ball crossed the plane, so they can't overturn it. It's a good goal. O'Keefe 4 of 9 shooting on the day.
I'm super impressed with O'Keefe creating his own offense.
Winkoff shoots the bouncer. No way you're going to get that past Dobson today, and he comes aggressively out of the goal.
This guy rarely allows like a bad goal. Even when the Cannons hit him for those 2-pointers, those were perfectly placed bombs. You know, if Mac O'Keefe continues to dodge like this, it's going to open up his outside game because defenders aren't going to flash to him as quick. They're going to be more worried about him creating some offense too with his feet and stick, which essentially then will allow them to slough off of him. And when you slough off of him, what's he going to do? He's going to hit you with a deep shot.
I'm hearing from you, Clark, as we continue to run down these offensive players for the Archers. If this player continues to play well, if that player continues to, it adds to the riddle that the defense now has to solve. Fieldsy inside scores. He has been a magician around the net, and it continues.
He's so slippery. And we talk about all of his flair and the dramatic shots. This is just him timing the push, time the push, time the push. I've said it multiple times. He manipulates a defender. Defenders eventually will overplay Connor Fields because he's patient enough to absorb the contact, and then he counters with a roll. That's what makes him one of the best Dodgers in the universe, because he'll take a check, he'll feel the body, and then eventually he gets underneath. So they're going to review this.
Staggs.
Looked like one of the feet.
Yes, Staggs has got the red flag in hand.
Yeah,
he's looking
might
at
have dragged.
Is he going to throw it? Yes. I love how dramatic that moment is before the flag is thrown.
It's not like spiking it.
No, it's like he just kind of drops the flag on the field. He had seen enough. Now Josh Blaisdell will go over and review it.
Let's take a look at this. Look at the right foot drag.
And you see the pellets. See the pellets coming up?
They're going to overturn that one.
It's a shame because it was a beautiful goal, but no good.
Let's take another look just to make sure that the foot is on the turf. It's on the turf? Yeah, you see the
pellets coming up?
Yeah. You've done enough today, Fields. Sorry.
Right.
That's the right call, I think, to overturn.
Gonna give one back.
You would agree, right?
Yeah, you saw the pellets come up.
After review, player's foot was in the crease, no goal.
Still doesn't take away from how good of a Dodger he is, right, in that move.
And the threat that is ever
present. A lot of times younger attackmen, and this is like 99.9% of attackmen, not named Connor Fields and maybe Jeff Teat and a few others, they feel like they need to make a play right off the first level of contact. Where Teat and Fields, because of how patient they are, they just wait. And they're going to wait as long as it takes for you to overcommit. And once you overcommit, that's when they're going to get you.
Whips with a bit of a reprieve after that review. Inside. Yeah, you're not going to stop Williams on that. And good job by Levi Anderson finding Zed in the middle.
You know, we talk a lot now about this crease presence and avoiding the circle. Saw 2 plays being reviewed. How about the footwork of Zed Williams not to go in the crease here? To catch and then to leave his feet, knowing that if he doesn't leave his feet, he's going in the crease before it crosses the plane.
That is a big man, too.
Yes.
Spent a few days at Buffalo Bills training camp this past spring.
Got a wonderful demeanor. Phenomenal lacrosse player. He's just a physical presence with exceptional skill.
Big battle for the face-off. Martello's going to come out of there with it. And he takes a hit from Lord. That's going to draw a flag.
That hit from Moore might be late. Didn't look like it was too high.
Like if a face-off guy doesn't take enough of a beating, right? Just on a basic transfer getting walloped.
Finally one possession, you think you're out in the free and clear. And that more drills you. Anderson shoots high. Now we'll get the stoppage.
Unnecessary. That was on Archer, number 11. Unnecessary roughness, 1 minute.
That makes me think it's late. Pass. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's hard for Moore to hold off on that. I don't really like this call, to be honest with you. Look, he's in the time that he passes the ball. Like, how's he supposed to hold up there?
There certainly was a time in this game that would not have been called. But now for the safety players. Minute power play for Maryland. Can they use this power play to get back into it? They scored 2 on an unreleasable power play last time. And it gave them some hope. Now in the fourth quarter, can they get more? Chuck inside.
Oh, that's great ball movement.
Zed finishes. Okay, Card 15-10.
This is phenomenal. Look at this play develop. Once you see the interior catch here by Patra, pause it right here. Once he has that ball in the inside, now let's roll it. The defense is compromised because you're man down to begin with. And when the Utah Archers decide to crash the crease and go on Patra, the bottom corner is wide open. If you have a strong crease presence and a high crease presence in a power play that can not only shoot the ball but pass from that high arc, you're going to feel it. And you're going to get that opportunity to your bottom wing guys like Zed Williams or Matt Rambo. So Patra, the rookie, we know about him as a scorer, but the high crease presence as a passer was exceptional there.
Whips can't build on it, though, even though they got possession on the face-off because of a bad turnover. 3 power play goals on the day for the Whips, coming in with 0 on the season. Shriver gets it back to Amon. Quickly to O'Keefe. Good ball movement by the Archers. Burnlore, those Stones Fields. TJ looking for some room to operate. Finds a Cutter, and Rambo too high. Yeah, Rambo's kicking himself.
He should have shot low there, right? It looked like Dobson was occupying so much of the upper portion of the cage.
Malone now gets a pick, so he's got Piper Bond on him. Can he take advantage of the short stick matchup? Bond is a big physical presence. Malone in all kinds of trouble, but Zed scores! Great look finding Zed Williams in front, and once again, 36 camps out in front. Gets a great opportunity, and the Whips are on a 3-0 run.
That's 2 in a row for Zed. Finishing the rock. The rookie, TJ Malone. We know about him as a dodger and a scorer. He can deal, getting teammates involved. Joe Nardella's on the back end of this break. Don't go anywhere.
Connor Fields with the goal of the year, although some of his teammates think it might even be better than that.
This is
that might be the goal of the century.
Well, Lehman thinks it's the goal of the century, not just the goal of the year. Fields is explaining to Seth Tierney how he did it. Manning and Tierney.
Yeah, so I felt the pressure from Doug. I'm kidding. You know, what makes that goal so unique is a couple things. One, he's doing it against Matt Dunn, who's one of the better defenders in the league, right?
Yeah, of many years.
Yes. But the other pieces to that goal is if you can get the shot on cage, goaltenders are not accustomed to or warming up or training to defend that type of a shot, right? So in a fraction of a second, they have to deal with this guy who's taking his stick from high to low between the legs, and then the last piece of it's the velocity. It's the perfect storm of madness.
Nardell a little quick on the whistle. So here we go again. We talked about how the Archers at times go into a little bit of a funk late in games. And the Whips now 3 straight goals from Zed Williams. He's got 4 on the day. They're right back in this thing midway through the fourth quarter.
I think the Archers don't take the foot off the gas, because coming into today's contest, they're shooting 16% in the fourth quarter. Like, change the script.
That's not going to help. Going to get a hold here on Zed Williams, loose ball, so possession to the Whipsnakes. Bernlohr finds Cadillac Chorus. We got Amen out there on defense. Chanenchuk.
Patra has the matchup. He's got Grant Amen, who plays midfield, but naturally an attackman. He's got to take this matchup and go to the rack.
He's trying to. Instead, he tried to find Zed cutting, and it was too high. They've had so many of those opportunities in this game, Kark. 17 turnovers. Yes, Stags knows it. You know, all season long, it's been the Archers who've been turning the ball over too much. 21 turnovers a game coming in. That was worst in the league, but the 17 turnovers, and so many of them at inopportune times for the Whipsnakes, really cost them. Under 5 minutes now. Schreiber. 2-point shot too high.
With the 15 goals from the Archers, Tommy Schreiber only 1 assist on the afternoon. 1 more, he gets 200 for his career, which is 7th all time.
More wide on the shot.
But from a midfielder, I mean, that's next level.
Has that 1 assist, but a quiet game in general for Schreiber. 18 touches.
Think of the great passing midfielders of all time: Paul Gate, Paul Rabel, Tommy Schreiber. For my money, those 3 are the best passing midfielders I've ever seen.
Fields trying to pick up the loose ball. Shot clock will wind down as that time Tim Muller did a nice job just letting that clock wind down, knowing that they were going to get possession. So once again, it's 15-11. Whipsnakes can get it down to 3. Jake, what are you hearing about the Whips offense?
Coach Stagnita telling his team not to hold on to the ball for too long, keep the ball movement going, and they look at the scoreboard and they see a 2-possession game, and you've got to think, you guys talked about it, the pressure has to be rising on the Utah sideline given their history late in games.
Especially with 1 more there, but again, Malone couldn't get the shot off. It's a little bit of a head scratcher here, Cart. Zed taking it upon himself. He takes a shot. Good run out to get the loose ball, and it was won by the Archers. Wow. Levi Anderson can't believe it. He's looking at Blaisdell for help, but he's not going to get it.
I thought Levi was back there.
Closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds on a shot gets possession. And it was awarded to Archers. That's a big play in this game. We're under 3 minutes. .25 to shoot for Amen. Close quarters. That pass for Schreiber goes wide, but Leclerc tracks it down. Still 15 to shoot, so no panic. Fieldsy, get a whistle.
I think he's challenging. Stags is challenging something.
Well,
was it within the 30 seconds though?
I guess they're challenging who was closest to the ball.
Can we get to Seth Tierney?
Right, 22. He's challenging the out of bounds. That expired.
Yeah, that expired. It's past the 30 seconds.
Paid attention. I just talked to all of them. I've been yelling at him for 10 seconds. He's standing there, won't listen. It's not my fault.
See, Staggs thinks he was yelling within the 30 seconds.
Stop. The time has expired, in which that was challengeable call. It remains at Archers. And that's not my fault.
Okay, so you have 30 seconds to get the challenge.
Yes.
And they're saying it was past the 30-second mark. Staggs is arguing that the ref was not listening to him, and he was calling for the challenge for the last 10 seconds. So they were challenging the Levi Anderson closest to the ball off a shot when it went out of bounds.
Yeah. Let's take a look at this again, the shot. So it's Anderson or Bond, 54 in white, or 24 in black over here on the right.
And it's closest to the ball, not the end line. That's probably the right call because where the ball went, I think Bond. Anderson's closest to the end line, but that's not where the call should be. It's closest to the ball when it goes out of bounds. That's a diagonal shot closer, I thought.
I think it's Bond. It's close enough as you look at it on replay where you could understand why that call was made the way it was.
At first, I think my natural inclination was to think that, Anderson was so deeper, but he wasn't closer to the ball.
You'd have to have all kinds of vectors. You'd have to get a Harvard physics professor in here.
Well, I think they did for the next game. They broke down Brody Merrill's shot, didn't they?
Yes, and your shot. We're going to see that at halftime. You don't want to miss that. Archer's trying to shoot the dagger. That might be it.
I think so, Cotter. I think that's it because it could have been a two-possession game, and the Whips have some guys that could stretch a defense from deep. And you have Joe Nardella. But down 5 with 2:09. Trey LeClaire goes to the rack, fights through pressure, and that could be game, set, match on Bernlohr, who came in for relief duties for Krebs. Trey LeClaire has been efficient today as a shooter. He's got the two-pointer.
75% shooting.
Well, he's 58%, second in the league coming into the contest.
And his touches, he only has 11 touches on the game.
It's called efficiency, my friend.
So under 2 to play. Utah with possession. Matt Moore takes the shot, and why not with the days he's had. And he has had a miserable season coming into this game. Scoreless on 0 for 13 shooting coming in, and he needed a game like this in the absolute worst way, and he got it. A couple of goals from Moore in the first half.
11 seconds. Shot clock. Start resetting it. Hit, go down. Yeah. So go 32 again.
Just a reminder as we get the clock sorted out. Got Whipsnakes and Cannons coming up at the top of the hour over on ESPN, or Water Dogs and Cannons rather, coming up at the top of the hour on ESPN2.
The Water Dogs are about as good of a 1-3 team as you can have, right? That's a team that wouldn't shock me if they made a run and won a championship.
Started 0-3, and all 3 losses were by 1 goal, a couple of them in overtime.
Yeah.
So they got their first win last week. Now they got Stathicus taking face-offs. You got Hannah back healthy. They're a different team.
I think he's a key. Hannah is, he's a dog.
Schreiber takes the shot, misses, unhappy with himself. Just 4 seconds to shoot. So you got to think Archer's just going to dump this one in the corner. No, they're going to take a shot. It's going to be Schreiber again. Nope. Shot clock expires, and now the Whipsnakes have got to go quickly.
You know, as we talk about Cannon's Water Dogs, imagine Tierney being 0-3. How competitive he is.
Yeah. A lot of sleepless nights for him as he tried to figure it out. he might have figured it out.
So excited for him to be part of the league, and that's another great lacrosse coach right there, and Jim Stagnita. I have so much respect for him in terms of, I don't know, the way he coaches, but the way he puts a team together. And his drafting this year was outstanding.
Three-man weave.
There's Drew Snyder.
In his first year as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, so like the first kind of look is like Shanny might be able to step in. Okay, Rambo, you're
The
just
three-man weave will allow one of those outside players in the weave to pop for a 2.
We got, let's go Heacock here. Okay, Levi here. Tots here. All right, on that action. All right, we're literally looking for one of these two right here. Clearing through. This guy's coming up. Levi, you can kind of just come into here. Okay? What was last? We're just kind of cutting into this space. All right, we're trying to kind of cut through. I'm just going to the middle.
All right, here we go. Why aren't we weaving it up top just to get on? Finish on 3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
You heard Stags at the end. Why aren't we weaving it up top?
They're going to push right out on them. They're not going to drop it. All right, they need to get their hands free off. Motion up top.
He knows the motion up top is where the 2-point will live, right? You have no choice but a 2. And if you're not deep enough, you're not getting a 2, right? So you want to be far enough out where you're behind the line when you're working that 3-man weave.
Bates is all smiles. So he'll be looking for his defense to shut the door here one last time.
Right there is the kickback to Winkoff. We're just going to work this 3-man up here.
Shannon Shuck, nothing doing. Here's Winkoff near side. Now he goes to the middle. And that pretty much tells the tale for the Whipsnakes today.
But what he was looking for is you had a 3-man weave with Rambo, Winkoff, and Channinchuk. And those wings popping for the 2-pointer.
Connor Fields will look to run this clock down.
Hope Jake can get to touch base with Fields and ask him about that insanity of his shot.
Archers came into this game coming off a 14-9 loss to the Cannons, dropping their record to 2-2. But as the horn sounds here in Cambridge, add win number 3 to the total. Big day for the Archers. They come back east and get the dub over Maryland, 16-11 for Paul Carcaterra, Jake Marsh, and our entire crew. I'm Chris Cotter. We'll see you at the top of the hour on ESPN2.